Hi, everybody. My name is Stephen Meade. I'm the principal broker here at Domicile Real Estate. This is Real Talk, and this is basically where I talk about the things that I think need to be said, but we don't really have another place, on our YouTube channel for. We're putting this video on YouTube, but the reality is a big part of this video is also for our existing clients. The real estate industry has changed drastically in the last probably 6 months or so, not just because of the market, but because of other factors. And I have a reason to believe that those changes are going to continue. And that means as a company, as Domicile Real Estate, we're making some pretty big changes over here as well. I also wanted to talk a little bit about something else that's been eating away at me through the back of my mind. And something that I think is not going away, and it's been something that's been keeping me up at night. And I wanted to share that with you. I don't think there is a lot of authenticity and honesty in the real estate world. And this is not to say that there aren't some absolutely wonderful agents out there. I think there are some really, really great, spectacularly great agents out there. But this is a business that has really a history and a tradition of people sort of creating this image, right? And I once heard that a lot of people think that the real estate business is like being a professional athlete, where you want to train hard, you want to get your skills, you want to be the very best that you can be, in your sport, as it were. But the reality is, in a lot of ways, the real estate industry is a lot more like being a movie star. And that means that very frequently, the people that are the most successful are not necessarily the most skilled, but rather the ones who are the most famous. Most of our clients tend to be engineers, more sophisticated types. So I think, maybe we are a little bit more towards the professional athlete role, but it's got me thinking about really being honest and being true with people. So I talked about a couple changes that are coming. We're making some really big changes in the next coming year. And I'm going to talk about probably the littlest ones first. You'll notice that if you're on our email list, and if you're not on our email list, by the way, we've got links down below. We have a list that's just for first-time home buyers. We have a list that is for people who love architecture, people who love Eichler homes, and people who want to get a daily dose of the cool architectural homes that come for sale in Southern California. So we're going to put those links down below. If you're not on those lists, you really want to be on those lists, because that's really just kind of a great way for us to kind of keep you informed about those things. So one of the changes you notice is we're really revamping all of these emails and how they work. So they're going to continue, but you're going to see sort of iterative improvements over time. And our goal is always to give you more information. The other thing I want to talk about is some of the big changes in the housing market and how that's really changing our strategy. The thing that keeps me up at night, and I mean, I have woken up in a cold sweat thinking about this, is I have a feeling that for a lot of people, especially here in Southern California, that dream of homeownership is going to just kind of slip away. And I think we talk about homeownership, and a lot of young people talk about homeownership like it's this luxury that's for other people and not for them. And that honestly breaks my heart. And we've been thinking probably for the last year, how are we going to sort of move the needle and maybe solve that problem in some way? And, we've always kind of come up short with sort of the right solution to that. And I still don't think that we exactly have the right solution. But what we've done in the last year is spend a lot of time talking about it. And what we haven't done is spend a lot of time really coming up with a plan and executing on it. And that's probably the biggest change that you're going to see coming, is that we are rolling out a number of initiatives that really are geared towards this population that I think, is disillusioned and feels like it's not going to happen for them. And the sad part is, I think the longer that some of these people wait, the harder that it's going to get. If you watch our regular market updates, you've been maybe hearing about this theme that there is nothing on the horizon that is going to significantly change inventory levels. And I mean like a game changer, like a bunch of foreclosures or people just suddenly putting up their homes for sale. And I think that scarcity of housing And really, that's the important term here to understand is scarcity. We did a video on this in the past. We can talk about affordable housing programs. We can talk about rent programs. We can talk about tenants' rights. The problem that we have fundamentally in housing is that there simply is not enough of it. And the new housing that we are building is very expensive to construct. And, I don't want to make this a political conversation. I think, you can pick any administration and there are policies that they do that are great for housing, policies they do that are not so good for housing. So we're not going to make this about politics, but the fact is, I don't see those dynamics changing anytime soon. So if we're waiting for kind of the government to solve the housing problem or to help people on an individual basis, I just don't see that really happening en masse. And so what we've done is we've thought, what can we do and how can we focus our energy and our efforts on this? The other thing, and this is kind of a bit of a flip side, is we're watching sort of this crazy investment on an institutional scale on investment properties. And, I think landlords get a lot of bad press, some of it very deserved. But I will tell you this, I've been a tenant in my life before I bought, homes, and there is a very big difference between mom and pop landlords and big corporate landlords. And, there will always be landlords. We will never be in a situation where everybody owns something, and that's okay, right? I'd like a situation where at least 60% of Californians own homes. That number is slipping towards 50% and will probably dive under in the next couple of years if we don't do something. But what, for me, the important part is I thought, let's play the flip side of this. What can we do to help people be these mom and pop landlords? And honestly, right now, I think there are a lot of opportunities in the investment space. My background is in economics. Some of you know that. We actually built many years ago, over 10 years ago, we actually built a piece of modeling software in Excel just to analyze investment properties that we use with our clients. I think we're going to kind of really start to go after that because I think that these mom and pop landlords, if we're going to have landlords, I'd rather have these people that are real people not executing on an institutional scale. I think the real purpose of rental housing is really to be temporary in nature. I don't like the idea that some people, feel like they're going to be renters for the rest of their lives. And I think that these mom and pop landlords are much better suited to that mission than sort of these corporate landlords that I think would love for people to be tenants for their entire lives. And so that's really our big initiatives this year. We're making a lot of changes sort of behind the scenes. And I'm excited. I'm going to talk to you about some of those things in the next couple of months as they sort of come to light. The first change, like I said, you're going to notice is that our emails are going to start looking different. We're trying to put different content in those. You're going to see us testing a lot of different things out to see what works. We're also looking to form some partnerships with nonprofits on the homeownership side. I think that what's missing right now is that the nonprofits primarily work with government entities. And I just don't think that's been working. I think the results kind of speak for themselves. It has not been a terribly fruitful venture so far. So we're looking to get involved with some of those spaces. For us, I would love to help everybody in California, but our mission, if you watch our videos, especially first-time homebuyer videos, we say we are on a mission to help California's renters become homeowners. The reality is we really mean Southern California for now. We'd like to make that a California mission in the next couple of years. So we're working on that. Anyhow, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on, what's keeping me up at night, the fact that I think the best time for most people to buy a home is yesterday. And I think the sooner that people get in the long run, the better off they're going to be. I don't think it's going to get any easier. And as a company, we're saying, how can we find a way to move the needle on that? How can we find a way to reverse that trend of California becoming a quote unquote renter nation? I don't think that's good for communities. I don't think that's good for wealth generation for people. I don't think that's good for racial equity. I think homeownership is a solution that solves a lot of those problems. And yet I don't really feel like anybody's actually out there fighting for it. And, that kind of breaks my heart. So Stay tuned. We're looking to see what we can do. If this is something that you think is important too, definitely let us know in the comments. Drop us a line. Let us know we're on the right track with this. But that's something that we're seeing. And yeah, stay tuned. Big things coming in 2023. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Also, our weekly email list, we've got those, the signups down below in the comments. Definitely take a look at those. And we'll see you again real soon.